Great news, Saluki fans. 50 SIU student athletes went into the Gate 1 return to play protocol. They got tested for COVID-19 and all 50 are healthy. The tests came back and no one tested positive for COVID-19, so that's fantastic news. They began voluntary workouts earlier today, so that means 77 more student athletes will go into protocol as we begin Gate 2. Now, I wish I had great news for SEMO football. Unfortunately, their season opener, their home opener, September 3rd against Dayton has been canceled. The Dayton Flyers feel that they don't have enough time to get ready due to COVID-19. We caught up with head coach Tom Matukowicz.
Of course, I learned about it last week. It's a huge disappointment. Of course, you're disappointed for our players and all those things, but it's just a reminder. It's kind of like the game of football. Like, there's just a lot of things you can't control, especially now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And so we need to, can't focus on trying to control it. We just need to try to focus on the one thing we can control, and that's how we respond. Of course, we're trying to find another game, and so we're in the process of that. And, we're going to move forward. And ultimately, I believe we'll find a game, but if not, then we'll just have to adapt and adjust, just like the game of football. No one cares. Like, at the end of the day, we got to just respond and make it a positive.
What do you tell the kids?
I think my message is, this is serious. And the game of football has always asked you to sacrifice. And you have to understand that you'll do the precautions that we all are talking about. And we go out and we have this rash of positive tests on our team, then there won't be an Ole Miss either. And there may not be a season. And so when your buddies are going out to the bars, you can't. And you have to protect yourself from outside and you're not going to be able to go on trips and all these type of things, because ultimately if you get a chance of you could expose us all, then now we may not have a season. So I'll use this as a good reminder about the responsibilities that we have, and that these precautions are not jokes. Like, we need to take them serious to make sure that, one, you're safe and we are safe, and two, is that we still have a great chance of playing football this fall.
Touchdown! He got in! Touchdown, Zach Smith!
The Redhawks have a plan in place to get their athletes back on campus, and it starts next week.
25, 30-yard line, breaking free, 40. He's to midfield and tackled right at the 50-yard line.
So our kids have not been here. They get back Sunday, July 5th, and they're quarantining even as we speak. We've talked about what they're going to do this weekend and all that. And once they get here July 5th, we test everybody on Monday, and that's really expensive and hard to do. In fact, we're the only OVC team that are spending the resources to do that. That's how important it is. And then they're quarantined through the week. Once we get the results back and once we feel safe, then we'll start back with the lifting and the running that every other college is doing. Plus, we're unveiling our rings, so they're getting their championship rings this Sunday too. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And speaking of bling, Coach Toop's necklace is an attention grabber, and there's a story behind it.
Well, it's our motto or our plan is brick by brick. It's just our program's a process-oriented program, and kids are hard to reach, man. You got to be wild, and you got to come in. You almost got to shock and awe to get your point across. So they know about anything. I'll put a chain on it, wear it around. It's like an elaborate sign. If I put a sign on a wall that says brick by brick, it doesn't mean as much as if I walk in the room with this. And I actually put this in a turnover chain I had, and I made them call me Two Chain for a while. So they thought that was pretty funny.
It seems like you found a way to rely on your personality and have as much fun and to be as loose as you can through this. How important is that?
That is the goal. In fact, I did our season goals last year. The number 2 goal was to have fun. We're not only going through a pandemic, we're going into a 15% budget cut. Our university lost $8 million. We are going through a social injustice deal that is just wrecking people. And that's the point is, hey, look, no matter what, let's have fun. Remember why you started coaching. Remember why you started playing. And budgets and all these things ain't going to have anything to do with enjoying the process. And in fact, if we're not having fun and enjoying this, we're not doing it right. And that's a goal that we put for this team. And obviously, I got to model that, right? If I can't have bad days. If I come in a team meeting and I'm having a bad day, 150 people are going to walk out there having a bad day. And so I got to do a great job of modeling this. And, you know, I'm human too, and I don't always get it right. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. But we need to make sure that enjoying this time, enjoying this game of football, and enjoying it with each other. In fact, if you think about the one great thing the virus did is it gave us a reminder. It reminded us how much fun the game of football is and how much we need it and how much we need each other and to be able to do this thing together. And so I'm not going to let it happen. Like, that's my job. We're going to make sure that we're enjoying this process.
The focus is to stay healthy, and everything else on the calendar should stay on schedule.
That's the thing the kids need to understand. If we don't handle the quarantine week well, there won't be the next week. You don't get to move on unless you did the last week well. And so August 5th is really when we would start actually fall camp practice, right? And if we've done July well, then August 5th will happen. And if August 5th happens, then I feel really good that, we're going to have a season.
Reporting from Carbondale, Jason Hurst, News 3 Sports, back to you.